Hey guys, how you doing? It's me, Alan here, LFC Red Chat. Go ahead and make sure you follow me on Twitter at LFC Red Chat. I'm very active on that. And I'm also on Facebook as well. If you want to search LFC Red Chat, you'll find me on there too. So let's get into this Sunderland game. Also, make sure that you post all your comments down below this video, the preview video, any videos in between the last comment show and Wednesday coming up. Therefore, I can put them all into one big video. The comment show is what it's going to be called. It's going to be episode 2 that will be recorded on Wednesday night, available for you Thursday. It's just a way to get involved with all the Liverpool fans that watch the channel regularly, or if you just come in and stop by for one or two videos or whatever you like, just comments down below, and then I can put them all together, answer them all. People can then add comments onto the comments video, and it just rolls on from there. We get a good opinion going, almost like a spoken forum, as you could call it. It's a spoken forum that I'll read out your comments, answer them myself. Other people can add on to it as well. It'd be good. It's a good way to get fans talking. So this game, when I looked up Chelsea's result against them, or when I looked up Sunderland the last couple of results, and Chelsea drew 0-0 with Sunderland, I saw that this could be a potential result for this Liverpool game. I had it in the back of my head thinking, this could end 0-0, just with the way Sunderland could sit back and just absorb the pressure from Liverpool, and just with how Liverpool's creative third at the moment isn't quite firing all cylinders. So it was a blah sort of game. The performance wasn't great, but we'll get into that. And it was always, unfortunately, it was one of the results that was more likely possible than not. But let's get started. We're going to do our 5 things we learned. We're going to do stats, man of the match, next upcoming games to round out December, and we're also going to answer the trivia. That's another great way as well to get involved with the channel. After every preview show, or throughout every preview show, there is a trivia question on the team that we're going to play. Then it's answered in the review video. So if you want to get on there, it gives you an easy shout out. Make sure you add your Twitter name on there, so whoever wins can give you a shout out. Hopefully grow your followers and everything else. Try and get you some more follows, more likes, more whatever you want from it. For answering the trivia question. This gets us to talking a little bit more. Okay guys, so let's get stuck in. Usual format for the review show. Number 1, I didn't think, and after watching the game again and watching watching the match of the day highlights that I got to see, I don't think Lambert had any service whatsoever. See, if you watch the game, you see Lambert, he sticks his hand up quite frequently, trying to get that sort of ball over the top for him to run onto, like he got against Crystal Palace. I think that's what he's really just looking for, just someone to plop a ball right over the top of the back four, or the defender he's standing next to, for him to maybe cut inside a little bit and do what he did against Crystal Palace and finish that off. I think that's more of what he's looking for at the moment, because you see him stick his hand out, you see him getting good positions off the ball, and I don't know if he's a little bit naive with this team, or the team's just not really want to do that with him. For whatever reason, they want to go a lot more direct on the floor, passing between each other and trying slipping it through on the floor instead of hitting a ball over the top. So at the moment, I don't really think he got a lot of service. He didn't get any crosses towards him at all. No, that's not right. He did get one cross. And he missed the header quite early on, and that looked as if that would work. If you got a couple more balls to the byline. But talking about Liverpool's crossing, that's another thing. That's a whole video in itself. At the moment, it is shocking how many players cannot cross the ball past the first man standing in front of them time after time, and I've mentioned it before, and he's still poor at it. And you might think I'm harping on about him at the moment, but Sterling, final ball is forever poor. Who else was it? Johnson was poor, whipping balls in. Moreno is hit and miss at times with the kind of balls he puts in. Coutinho, he doesn't get out to that sort of area. Lallana, for whatever reason, for Lallana, I keep on hearing the commentary, he's got quick feet, this, that and that thing, quick feet. I never see it. He seems, once he gets going, he's fast. He's a quick boy once he gets going. But he seems awfully slow getting up to the pace about it. You know what I mean? Trying to beat someone, he looks real clumpy trying to get past, and he's got that one move where he slides it back underneath. And it worked well for him. We got one in Lambert connected with it, good for him, but sometimes I just think he's a little slow. But hey ho, that's me. Number 2, so when Stevie came on, definitely changed the game, and he looked good when he came on. The passes that he has, the vision that he has, he just changes it. And you can automatically see when Stevie comes on, the passes become a little bit different. It's a little bit more from side to side, crossing into spaces, hitting it into spaces for people to run onto, through balls. It just comes a little bit more lively. He gets into good positions. I think he's enjoying this sort of role that he's having, that's pushed more up front, and he's getting to be a little bit more involved. He almost becomes a second striker at times with Lambert, not so much sitting in behind, but going forward a little bit more as well, which I like. I like to see him. I think he's enjoying it more. He looks as if he's enjoying it more. I don't think he has a problem coming off the bench for certain games. So yeah, I think he looks better, and of course we'll get into it a little bit later. How Lucas is making up for him not being in the defensive midfield role. But number 3, the boy we were talking about, Sterling. Although his final ball can be poor, he was lively, he was a nuisance, he got about, he had 2-3 fantastic runs. The one run that I'm sure anybody that saw it, where he picked the ball up in our own half and just past Cattermole. Actually, if you watch it, he beats Cattermole twice. He goes past him, he slows down a bit, Cattermole regains on him, then he goes past him again. He goes, I don't know if you saw it, he goes past another defender, I can't remember who it was, but it was almost as if, it was like when you're playing FIFA, and you got the joystick and you're all the way to the left, and you switch men and the defender gets it. He just goes past him like that, as if you're accidentally pulling the defender out of the way. Just right past him. Slides it over to Coutinho. You know, Coutinho is Coutinho when he's shooting. He's getting better at it though. He is. He's getting a lot better at it, but you know, it just kind of hits it right into the Sunderland goalkeeper. But he was lively. He was good. I thought he wasn't as. If you watch my other review video of the Leicester game, I thought he was fantastic. Real simple. He would get the ball and then go past. You know, and there's not too much cutting inside. He likes to cut inside, but sometimes it makes it easier for a solid back four. You know how they're just sitting in against us, and when they're solid line, if you cut in, you're running into 3 players. You know, one after another after another. It makes it hard for him. If he's going just past one player down the left hand side and crossing it in, it makes it a lot easier. Now, I think the reason is, and maybe this is why Moreno hasn't been playing as much. Moreno does like to get forward, and sometimes Moreno just gets in the way. He's too far advanced. You know, he's taking up a space where Sterling wants to run into that space and go around. So maybe that's why we're seeing a little bit more Enrique. We're seeing a little bit more Moreno, Manquillo on the left hand side. Maybe that's why. Maybe I think Moreno sometimes gets in the way a little bit. But yeah, Moreno wants to be the overlapping sort of fullback anyway, so maybe Sterling will just have to put up with that. But cutting back inside for him isn't working too much right now. He needs to cut back inside and then go left again, you know, and not coming in and trying to beat three defenders standing there waiting for him. Number 4 for you guys, Lucas was solid as per usual. You know what I mean. You put him in there, the centre defensive midfield role, and you just book a solid performance from the boy. He just mopped up time after time, helping Johnson out every time Johnson was caught out of position or missed a tackle or did whatever Johnson wanted to do. You know, having a sandwich, having a cup of tea up in the stand at one point. I don't know, but Lucas he's what you need in a centre defensive midfielder. He is. That is his position. He loves it. He gets forward when he needs to. He even had a shot today at one point, even though he kind of dragged it a little bit left. But he just mops up and he does his job, and he's fantastic at it. And I really like Lucas being in this team. I did have a question in one of the other comments, and I'm sorry, I'm just thinking about this now. I should have wrote it down. So I'm sorry that I forgot your username to give you the shout out for it. But he asked, what happens if Lucas was to go out the team for whatever reason? You know, he's already piling up a couple of yellow cards, so you know you could lose him through suspension. Knock wood, not through injury, but you know, team selection, whatever. Who would you put in there? I think Joe Allen would make a good case for going in there. Emery Shan would make a good case going in there. You got a good couple of boys that could fill in for him. So I think we have strength and depth at that position right at the moment, and with Stevie pushing up further, I think that's the way it should stay, and I think it's the way it is going to stay. Number 5, let's get to the meat and bones of this. The performance from Liverpool today overall was poor. It was poor. Everybody said it. You can look on Twitter, it was poor. I watched the game from start to finish, it was poor. It never looked as if we were going to score a goal. Creating wise, it was just looking as if we just kept on hitting a brick wall as soon as we got back there. You know, Sunderland defended in numbers. I did like the change in the corner situation, defending it, leaving 3 guys up back. That made Sunderland have to leave Wes Brown back there, which is a good. He's a good attacker of a corner, Wes Brown. So it took away. So you're thinking about when you're looking at, you got Lallana. Who would it be? It was Lallana, I think, Coutinho and Sterling. I never saw the 3 guys because I'm watching on TV. You know, we got a picture of them. But it's those boys. Come on, they're barely into the 5-foot range. They're small boys. They're more in the way of a corner. You're more inviting pressure for the corner. So I think he did well to realise that and get those boys pushed out. Then you saw less Sunderland players being in the box because they had to mark the 3 boys outside the box. But overall, the performance was poor until Stevie came on. Yeah, a little bit of a spark there, but it was too late. Also, we saw an appearance of my boy. I've been shouting for him to be in this game just to see what you had, Markovic. And you'd be alive to tell me that Markovic didn't come on and have an impact. I thought he did well for however long he came on for. I thought he did very well, and I would hope to see him again soon in some sort of capacity, because he did so well at Benfica last year. He had a rough start to the season this year, new team and all the rest of it. You can give him all the excuses you want. I thought he was unlucky. I thought he got a lot of balls cut under his feet early on in the season, and a couple of bad touches really just condemned him to the bench at the moment. But I think he's on. I saw him for 10 minutes and I think he's world class. I'm not trying to say that, but I think he has something to give to the team, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, into the stats. Liverpool had 2 shots on target, Sunderland had 1. And then you have Gus Poyet saying, you know, this was a great chance for Sunderland to win it, and no, both teams are poor. Get over it. It was fucking last on match of the day. It was a horrible game to watch. Horrible. Total shots, Liverpool had 15. The Gus Poyet Sunderland that had a chance to win at Anfield, and this was their best chance, had 6 total shots. Passing, Liverpool had 82% pass completion, Sunderland 79. Possession was 50-50. Crosses for Liverpool 4 out of 28. 4 out of 28 into a guy like Lambert. A big boy like him is silly. It's a lot of crosses that is missing people. Totally missing them. It's poor. Here's another one. 2 out of 5 corners. We are one of 2 teams yet to score from a corner. The other one being Swansea. And the 2 corners that were completed were the 2 short corners from Lucas. Those were the 2 that counted as completed corners. Isn't that poor? Fucking poor. We only had 5 corners out of the whole game. It's annoying. Man of the match for me, like I told you before, Lucas. Sterling was a close second, but I didn't think he was as good as he was against Leicester when I gave him the man of the match then. So I think Lucas for me was man of the match. Just solid, did his job, put in a good shift. You can't say a bad word about him at the moment. He's doing very, very well, and hopefully he'll stay throughout January. It'll be interesting to see, because there was much rumours. Even he came out with a couple of silly Instagram stuff, you know, Napoli and all the rest of it, but hopefully he'll stay because he's doing very, very well for us. Next upcoming games, so let me read this off to you. Basel on the 9th, Man United on the 14th, Arsenal on the 21st, Burnley on Boxing Day. Isn't that a horrible game, Burnley on Boxing Day? Fuck. Boxing Day just known for their upsets, and we have to go and play Burnley. And rounding out the year 2014, we play not Sunderland, we play Swansea. A lot of good games in there, a lot one after another and after another and after another. After Basel, we do go back to playing we have 3 games that are each a week apart. Then we go into the busy period again with Swansea. So we have a little bit of a reprieve from this demanding schedule, but it's going to be a lot of games. So that was a lot of stuff I gave you tonight. I did rattle on longer than I thought I was going to, so thank you so much if you're still at this part of the video. Make sure you hit subscribe if you are, because obviously you liked it enough to be here until now. Thumbs up the video if you liked it. Thumbs down if you didn't like it. Write me a comment down below saying what you thought. If you thought anything I said was wrong, if you liked anything I said, if you just want to chat to me, ask me a couple of questions about why I do this, comments down below. And I thank you very much for it. And the trivia question was, when was the last time Sunderland won the first division? So that would be the top division in England at the time. And the answer was 1936. The reason I asked you was because they have won it 6 times, and the first time they won it was in 1892, the year Liverpool were established. So have a good one, guys. Be safe over the weekend. Don't have too many jars. Or have as many as you want. Who the fuck am I to tell you what to do? Just be safe. Be safe, because we've got a big game against Basel coming up midweek. So I'll do the preview show for that, review show for that, comments video. I'm going to put up a couple more videos talking about news coming out of Liverpool, just to give you enough stuff to write comments down below so I can add this onto my comments show. So get involved, guys, because I want to put as many comments as I can on the comments episode, and we'll have a good one. So thanks very much. Have a good one. Be safe, and I'll see you soon.